to VTV News. Communist Party of Vietnam turns 94 years old. Prime Minister requests mechanism for Ho Chi Minh City's breakthrough development. And later on in our world news, U.S. strikes Iraq and Syria in response to fatal drone attack in Jordan.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello there, this is VTV News broadcast live from Hanoi. You're with me, Lina Pham, and here's the top news of the hour. Under the guidance of the party for the past 94 years, the Vietnamese people have overcome numerous obstacles and adversaries, emerging victorious in wars against foreign invaders. Vietnam has experienced remarkable growth and has earned a prestigious position in history. The struggle to liberate the nation, gain power, and achieve victory in the August Revolution of 1945 was significant. Since the country's reunification, the Communist Party of Vietnam has led the development and implementation of socio-economic plans during nearly 40 years of reform. The country will celebrate the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of Vietnam in 2030 and the 100th anniversary of the founding of the nation in 2045. And today, February the 3rd, marks the 94th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of Vietnam. Throughout its illustrious history, spanning almost a century, the party has led the nation to overcome various challenges and achieve remarkable accomplishments through effective policies and the unwavering dedication of its cadres and party members.
Thick ropes, drums used to store wastewater, and electrical engines are displayed in Hoa Lo prison in Hanoi. These were some of the tools used for the barbaric mental and physical torture of political prisoners and revolutionary soldiers. However, these brutal tactics never once wavered the soldiers' minds of steel.
I am truly moved by the significant sacrifices and unwavering spirit of the soldiers. No matter how brutal the torture were, they never revealed any confidential information.
At the age of 17, Deng Tự Minh became a revolutionary and understood that embarking on this path meant enduring hardships and even sacrificing one's life. He was captured and detained at Hoa Lo prison twice, where he endured torture with electricity, but he never surrendered to the enemies.
We are determined not to reveal any information about our comrades. I believe that this determination resulted from heartfelt patriotism and camaraderie. It was like our instinct to make those sacrifices.
During the White Terror conducted by the French colonialists in 1931 to 1932, tens of thousands of officials, party members were detained, imprisoned, and killed. In the two resistance wars against French colonialism and American imperialism, nearly 160,000 party members sacrificed their lives.
Those communist soldiers put the interests of the fatherland, the people, and the party first and foremost, and spent their entire lives striving for the party's ideal goals. That's why they were able to overcome grave dangers.
This guillotine in Hoa Lo prison is a proof of the enemy's brutal torture methods. However, it's also a symbol of the colonial regime's failure against party members and patriots who were willing to give up their lives.
The provinces in the Central Highlands have allocated resources to prioritize improvements in all aspects of life for ethnic groups. Guided by the policy of the party and state, the ethnic communities of Bana, Jarai, Sedang, Ede, Manong, and Keha across the 5 provinces in the Central Highlands have reinforced their determination to build a prosperous and happy life.
The ethnic Drai and Bonner people, whose ancestors were brave soldiers in the past, possess strong faith and resilience. Together, they have worked hard to develop a peaceful and prosperous hamlet for their community.
The rivers may dry up, the mountains may erode, but Uncle Ho's spirit never fades in our hearts. We adhere to the party's guidelines and the nation's laws.
The Central Highlands is a significant strategic area and one of the key economic regions in the country. It also plays a crucial role in national defense and security. In recent years, the guidelines and policies implemented by the party and state in this region have led to a prosperous life for its people.
Thanks to the state's policies, the quality of life in the Central Highlands has been improving.
We have paid undivided attention to addressing matters of top concern, including commercial land, water, and residential planning.
From 2021 to 2025, the Central Highlands provinces will receive an investment of nearly $500,000 to implement 3 national target programs. These programs aim to develop transport infrastructure, support poverty reduction, and build new rural areas. By 2023, the political and socio-economic situation in the Central Highlands provinces is expected to remain stable, with the economy projected to grow at a rate of 3 to 7%.
Prime Minister Phie chaired the second conference of the Steering Committee to deploy Resolution number 98 of the National Assembly, aimed to pilot specific mechanisms and policies for the development of Ho Chi Minh City. At the conference, the Prime Minister requested an evaluation of the progress made since the first meeting held on November the 26th last year. The evaluation analyzed the causes of both completed and unfinished tasks, drawing lessons from the implementation. Based on this assessment, the conference provided directions, tasks, and solutions for the future. One of the Prime Minister's requests was for the Ministry of Industry and Trade to issue a decree on direct electricity purchase and sale in the second quarter. This decree would be applicable nationwide, with any conflicting conditions with the law addressed separately for Ho Chi Minh City in accordance with Resolution 98. 7 Vietnamese companies have successfully secured a bid to export 300,000 tons of rice to Indonesia. This accounts for more than half of the rice volume that Indonesia plans to import in January. The lowest quote provided by the Vietnamese firms was $648 per ton, which includes transportation costs. Earlier this year, Indonesia announced its intention to import 500,000 tons of rice in January to bolster its food reserves. Vietnam was the second largest supplier of rice in Indonesia last year, with imports surpassing 1 million tons. Overall, Vietnam ranked third in the world for rice exports, trailing behind India and Thailand, having exported a total of 8 million tons. A recent survey conducted by Eurocham on the Business Confidence Index revealed that 63% of European businesses ranked Vietnam among the top 10 destinations to attract foreign investment. Furthermore, 17% of these survey respondents believe that Vietnam should secure the top spot. This data confirms that Vietnam offers numerous opportunities to attract investment capital from Europe this year.
Make it. This world's leading energy and electronics enterprise from France has announced that it will choose Ho Chi Minh City to expand its investments. According to the business, Vietnam shares similar objectives with the European business community in terms of sustainable development, clean energy, carbon emission reduction, and cutting-edge AI applications.
Our enterprise specializes in developing hardware, digitalization, and software. In particular, we specifically focus on promoting artificial intelligence solutions to help the energy industry become more sustainable.
The European Union is the 6th largest foreign investor in Vietnam, with investments of nearly $28 billion in over 2,400 projects.
So COVID that Vietnam has grown significantly with more than 8%. Last year we have seen Vietnam still achieved a GDP growth of 5%. And we are very positive that also by 2024, Vietnam will remain on the growth.
Vietnam is pursuing the goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions to achieve its net zero emissions goal by 2050. This helps attract technology companies, create a legal framework, and transform production models. These are areas where European countries have advantages.
In 2024, there are expected to be ample opportunities for domestic businesses in Vietnam to attract foreign direct investment inflows from Europe, particularly in high technology, core technology, and semiconductors. To optimize this capital resource, Vietnam should implement policies that facilitate domestic enterprises to participate in large FDI corporations' export value chains.
Coming up next, Air Force soldiers embrace State Festival with vibrant activities. And Vietnamese community in Russia prepares for Tết with abundant supply of traditional goods. You're watching VTV News. Đắk Nông police have been working intensively to ensure security, order, and safe travel for people returning to their hometowns to celebrate the Lunar New Year. They are providing support for people traveling by motorbike from Ho Chi Minh City and the southern provinces. As part of this support, they offer snacks and drinks to travelers and also collect damaged helmets, providing new helmets for free. Additionally, they remind people about traffic safety and the importance of complying with the road traffic law to prevent accidents. Instead of taking a break for Tết with their families, many units in the Vietnamese People's Army keep all personnel on duty. Various meaningful activities are organized at military bases to ensure a joyful Tết for soldiers. A report from Air Defense Division 372 captures the festive atmosphere as the soldiers prepare for the holiday.
In the past 2 months, the unit has diligently planned the cultivation of vegetables for the Tet season, ensuring an ample supply for each battalion. The responsibility of overseeing the spinach fields was assigned to new recruits. After planting seeds for over a month, it is now time for them to harvest the first fruits of their labor.
Back home, I never grew vegetables. Once I joined the unit, I began growing agricultural products with my own hands, learning to nurture the plants at each step along the way.
If you want to witness the skill of the Air Force's air defense personnel, visit Division 372 in the days leading up to Tet. The soldiers there have put great effort and meticulousness into crafting intricately detailed miniature landscapes, apricot blossoms, peach blossoms, and various Tet decorations.
The unit is decorated with colorful ornaments, peach blossoms, and yellow apricots. This makes the soldiers feel like they are at home with their families and enjoy a cozy Tet atmosphere.
On Kitchen God Day, the entire division was filled with excitement as officers and soldiers participated in a chung cake wrapping contest. This event fostered camaraderie among them, strengthening the military-civilian bond and forging connections between the soldiers and their loved ones.
I am glad to wrap chung cakes with the soldiers at the unit. It feels like the spring is just around the corner. Hopefully, I will be able to join more activities like this with the unit.
The Lunar New Year, also known as Tết holiday, is just a week away. Overseas markets where a significant Vietnamese community resides have stocked up on traditional consumer items for Tết. In Moscow, the market for Tết goods is thriving.
The Moscow World Trade Center is one of the busiest wholesale and retail markets for Vietnamese people living in Russia. They stock up on flagship Tet food items such as spring rolls, chung cake, and candy jam at nearly every outlet. Despite the recent economic sanctions against Russia, these Vietnamese imports still reach the market after hours of round-trip flights.
Everyone is happy that there is an abundant supply of chung cake and candy jam. People from other cities often buy large quantities of phrynium leaves.
Many merchants have agreed that purchasing power this year has slightly slumped compared to the previous year. In particular, sticky rice is easily one of the best-selling food items due to its wide variety of uses. This merchant's family would sell up to 7 tons of sticky rice before Tet holiday. However, this year, the figure has nosedived to just over 1 ton.
Balsam is shipped by plane, while sticky rice is shipped by sea. The high costs of air freight significantly increase retail prices.
Although the Lunar New Year is not traditionally celebrated in Russia, Vietnamese people living there still routinely shop for Tet items and prepare for their family's celebration. For this Vietnamese family, Tet is an important tradition that they strive to preserve and promote.
We have prepared a full-course meal for the Tet celebration, which includes popular food items such as rice, boiled chicken, and spring rolls. The worship of the kitchen gods is also done in a slightly different way. My mom has also prepared all the necessary ingredients for a delicious meal.
Despite challenging circumstances, the Vietnamese community in Russia always takes the initiative to celebrate the traditional Lunar New Year in a meaningful way.
The Immigration Department has issued over 1.1 million electronic visas in the past 6 months, with more than 90% being for tourism purposes. Citizens of certain countries and territories can apply for multiple entry electronic visas, which are valid for up to 90 days and allow for a temporary stay period of 45 days for foreigners entering under visa exemption status. This unilateral action also assists travel and tourism companies in diversifying tour routes, providing customers with more choices. Additionally, the application process for an electronic visa is greatly supported by technology. Village heads, elders, and prestigious villagers are role models for others in ethnic communities. Therefore, they are considered a special force that keeps ethnic people engaged in implementing the government's order. Our report is from the Central Highlands, which is home to thousands of prestigious villagers in ethnic groups.
As Tet approaches, local police, border soldiers, and villagers gather to make chung cakes. As ethnic people improve their living standards, they can celebrate Tet as the kin people do.
Local police and soldiers are always aware of their duties. They have tried their best to ensure peace and security for people. As they celebrate Tet with us, we're very happy.
In Đắk Nông, the Trang Long is the best, as he protects our village and the motherland.
The Central Highlands is home to nearly 6 million people from 54 ethnic groups with diverse cultural backgrounds. Village heads, village elders, and religious dignitaries have made great efforts to maintain social security and order, thereby contributing to political stability in the region. There are also key factors that raise ethnic people's awareness about the government's laws and regulations, as well as strengthen solidarity among ethnic groups.
All ethnic people in the Central Highlands are members of a big family.
We have worked closely with the local police and religious dignitaries. True happiness comes from a peaceful country with guaranteed social order and security.
Thì mong là thời gian tới thì ông già tiếp tục phát huy, đóng góp cho địa phương, rồi giúp đỡ lực lượng công an, già nghe.
Village heads, elders, and prestigious villagers are pioneers in implementing new approaches to boost economic development and help others improve their living standards. When thinking outside the box, ethnic people can preserve their cultural identity, eliminate harmful practices, and change their lives.
More than 1 billion people worldwide depend on wetlands for their livelihoods, about 1 in 8 people on Earth. Meanwhile, wetlands are among the ecosystems with the highest decline, loss, and degradation rates. In Vietnam, with about 200,000 hectares of mangroves, most growing in conservation areas and national parks, many localities have tried to preserve and promote the value of wetlands. Our report from Thái Bình Province.
Thanks to the sustainable exploitation of coastal resources in mangrove forest, local farmers near Thái Thuy Wetland Nature Reserve have improved their income.
We can earn a stable income by catching fish while protecting the mangrove forest. We established a team to patrol the forest around the clock.
Previously, mangroves covered only a few dozen hectares. As locals were encouraged to grow mangroves to protect coastlines, the area of mangrove forests has expanded yearly.
The coastal wetlands in Thái Thuy district are rich in biodiversity and were recognized as wetlands of national and international importance. The management board of the Thái Thuy Wetland Nature Reserve has worked closely with local authorities to strengthen the protection of mangroves and help locals maintain their livelihoods.
The Thái Thuy Wetland Nature Reserve has a rich biodiversity. To preserve local wetlands, we will continue coordinating with related agencies to map out and implement biodiversity management programs in the future. In addition, we will provide training for locals to keep them engaged with the conservation of flora and fauna.
Coastal wetlands sequester carbon up to 55 times faster than tropical rainforests. Wetlands contain about 12% of the global carbon pool, therefore creating livelihoods for locals and increasing their participation in mangrove forest protection should be prioritized. This way, localities can protect and promote the value of wetlands to benefit communities.
Coming up next in our world news, U.S. strikes Iraq and Syria in response to fatal drone attack in Jordan. And AI heralds new era of creativity in music production. The U.S. Central Command announced on Saturday that it launched an airstrike on multiple sites in Iraq and Syria in response to a drone strike that killed 3 U.S. troops. The strikes targeted over 85 locations associated with Iran at 7 different sites in Iraq and Syria. The U.S. president issued a warning on his platform stating that the U.S. would retaliate if any harm came to an American citizen. In response, President Ebrahim Raisi stated on Friday that Iran would not initiate a war but would respond strongly to anyone who tried to intimidate it. President Raisi emphasized that Iran does not seek war, but if any country attempts to oppress Iran, it will face a strong reaction. The United States has determined that the drone responsible for killing 3 soldiers and injuring over 40 others was manufactured by Iran, a claim strongly denied by Iran. Although the U.S. airstrike did not target any locations in Iran, there is growing concern about the security situation in the Middle East. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel dismissed Economy Minister Alejandro Gil on Friday amidst growing controversy over the delay in implementing measures to increase fuel prices and public transportation fares in the country. The Cuban Council of State has appointed 60-year-old Joaquin Alonso as the new central bank president. This reshuffle comes just 2 days after the government postponed a planned 5-fold increase in gasoline prices on February the 1st, citing a cyber attack from outside Cuba as the reason. Tens of thousands of people gathered on Friday at the illuminated Shanghai city in China to witness the dragon-shaped lantern lighting ceremony. The dragon, being this year's zodiac animal, symbolizes power and prosperity and holds great value for the Chinese people. It also represents hope and good luck, especially after a year of economic downturn. The Dragon Lantern Fair will remain open to the public until February the 29th. Will AI mean the end of human creativity, or will it change what it means to be creative? A group of music students in England may have some wildly unexpected answer. AI-powered musical instruments are being experimented and developed right inside recording rooms with a vision towards a new virtual world of music.
A group of researchers fiddle with novel artificial intelligence, AI, tools as part of their study into computational creativity and generative AI. And this is the HITAR, an advanced guitar with MIDI-compatible AI and sensors which read his movements to make drum and synthesizer sounds.
The AI is done for the expression, so to extract as much information as possible from my hand hits, so that I can get that nuance and that level of information without overcomplicating the interface.
Recent groundbreaking advances in generative AI, with robots now making music as digital pop stars, have divided opinions in the industry. ChatGPT-style generative AI can already produce original sounds, lyrics, or entire songs on its own. While labels and streaming companies partner to market the technology, many experts say AI raises legal or ethical concerns.
The sort of problem that we've faced is that there have been a real proliferation of AI developers who have trained AI models with large-scale amounts of copyright works without actually getting any authorization for doing so, and then using those tools to generate new content that actually competes with the very works that they've misappropriated. So transparency will be fundamental and something we're advocating for with governments to actually being able to ensure there's a responsible use and development of AI.
Generative AI regulation is in early stages. With successful experiments recorded in the music industry, one can foresee situations where AI-generated music works for new things that have not even emerged yet.
And as usual, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Goodbye for now.